Hello, hello. Welcome to
Hello.
Psychic Talk. I'm your host, Priscilla Gendron. So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our channel and welcome to our show. And as ever, I've got the most amazing guest. She's been with me before on my show a while back, and she's back bigger and brighter than ever with even more knowledge to impart to all of us and helping us to enlighten ourselves in the spiritual realm. So it's my great pleasure to invite and say welcome to Brigitte Rix. Welcome, Brigitte.
Hello, welcome. Thank you very much for asking me. Lovely to talk to you.
It's always such an amazing pleasure to have you because you always have just this amazing wealth of knowledge about the afterlife. You know, you are a author, published author of I think you're going for your 9th book now that you're about to publish.
Can I say channel? I don't write myself. I don't like writing. I channel it. I receive it automatic writing and clairaudience. Yeah.
Amazing. And I would call you almost like a spiritual channeler because you channel spirit and you channel messages from the realm, you know, a different realm or possibility to us. And I find that fascinating. A lot of people find that fascinating because it's just such an unknown entity. Because the only way you get there is if you die, you know, if you end your existence in this world. So our conversation today is about the afterlife. You know, what is the afterlife?
Yeah, it's life after Earth life, and it's a state of thinking, actually. Think of existence, a state of existing after we leave the flesh body, because it's really returning to what we were in the first place. The time on Earth as in the flesh body is a bit like an astronaut going to the moon for a trip. He doesn't always do that. He goes back to the previous life on Earth. So when we pass over, we just leave the flesh body, which is a garment, means of transport to experience the Earth life, which is the physical world, and to return to our existence as being of energy. My teachers, with channeling, whom I channel, tend to want to use the word beings of energy, or thinking energy, or even creative thinking energy, which is what we all are, including animals. All creatures are that. Rather than saying spirit, because people have various idea of what spirit means. So this is afterlife. It's back to where we were. And the wonder about it is that it's not a big box where people go. It's millions and zillions and myriads of levels of understanding of everything, of inquiring, of discovery, and it's the world of vibration, because everything is vibration. The whole thing is really a spiritual science. I like this word, spiritual science, because it's to do with vibration and energy. Even if you don't, and I don't know much about physics, but I certainly understand everything is vibration. Colors are vibration, sounds are vibration. So this is an amazing existence that we go back to. And we are still linked to it now in our body. And like you and I are being mediums, we've paid attention to that link. And it's important to remember we have that link, because it will help us to make the big step when eventually our soul, our energy, leave the flesh body, and we leave the flesh body and fly off to the next channel, a bit like radio or TV channels, the next vibration level, to find our family, loved ones, or whoever are going to be there to meet us. So it's a very fascinating topic, and it's important to get ourselves ready for it, to find out about it in different degrees, because it's the same way as if you go on holiday. Before you go on holiday to a hotel, you just try to look up on Google and so on, find out what the hotel is like, what is around it, and what are the interesting events that you could attend. Same thing, but this is more important.
Exactly. And this is kind of like why we're here today, is that we're giving people maybe a glimpse or, a fact-finding mission on what it'd be like, because a lot of people, when they say, oh, when I die, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to me? What happens when I take my last breath? and that's just for the person and for their loved ones. Are they going to be okay? Are they going to be in pain? What's the transition going to be like? So, as a psychic medium myself, I do communicate a lot with people that have passed on. And I find that the majority of questions are like that. Are they okay? Did they have any pain when they passed away? What is it like there for them now? And so what we're going to try and do today, Brigitte and I, is to try and eliminate all those fears and anxieties, as they say.
Yeah, we want to reassure people with genuine fact, as you do with your work, and
Yeah.
me with channeling what my teachers, my main teachers. I mean, there's a lot of people behind, invisible teachers and advanced beings. Some of them have been on Earth, and some have never been on Earth, but they are advanced beings who can explain. I use the word teach because it's quicker than saying sharing information. So I'm not being pompous. I teach you and just sharing information. Right? So it's very important that yes, we can share this information now, because it makes it easier. Because your state of mind is the important part. On Earth, the state of mind matters, as you know. Even the doctor will say to you, stress is a killer. Right? Our state of mind down here can give us headaches and stomachache and so on. Our flesh is affected by our way of thinking and our attitude and so on. So even more so when you leave the flesh and you do not have any more pain at all, for one good reason, because when we leave the flesh, we are like little Russian dolls. I've got my little gimmick I could show you. Like the Russian doll, the outside is the flesh, but the real person is the energy person or being of light, with a little the inner doll, and that flies off. And so when we leave the flesh, we cut off any link with the brain, and the brain is what's going to be cremated and buried. Buried. I mean, and this is where the brain has got a nervous system. This is what causes pain. Okay, the moment you fly out of it, you do not feel pain anymore. And your state of mind, your attitude is important. So if you know, like, if you understand, because you and I are explaining this to people, if people know that they will be all right, they will not feel pain anymore, if ever they did, and they're going to meet loved ones. This is a stage one, reception one. Then it's lovely because people are delighted to suddenly be free. We are never free on Earth. Even when we think we are limited by a flesh body. So we can't do what we want. So we're helping we're helping people to remove the fear and know what they could be experiencing, or their loved ones who passed over could be experiencing, but they will all be okay because they're looked after on the other side. Can I just bend down and pick my little gimmick? I forgot to pick it up with a little Russian doll. Sorry, I forgot to put it up. This is my little gimmick here. Usually when I give talk, I go around UK giving talk. As you can see, it's a little Russian doll. That's a body. But the real person, that's the flesh, symbolically. But the real person is the real you inside. That one, being of light, smiling. And this is energy, sheer energy. And that's the important word, because you probably have learned at school that energy cannot be destroyed. It can be changed, like light can become heat and so on. It cannot be destroyed. So the being of energy is eternal and is a real you. And it's where your mind, what we call the mind, your thinking, your creative thinking energy is, your emotions, all that is part of this. And when we are upset in life, it's a little real you is in there. When in real life, if people in earthly life, if people upset you, and you say, "Oh, she rattles me. This woman as well. This situation rattled me." What is rattled? It's the real you, the emotion body. That's what rattles you. So that affects the flesh because the flesh is always a reflection of the emotion. So at night, at death of the body, we don't die. The body dies because it's old or an accident. The body breaks up and the real you flies off. That's all it do. That includes your thinking and your memories, and it flies off and snaps away from the flesh. Because during lifetime on Earth, it's linked. I think they call it the silver cord or whatever, some kind of, let's say, electromagnetic link. Okay.
Yes.
At left, that's it, and you're free. The body is cremated, and okay, nobody cares anymore because all the emotion, all the memories are in there. This is why if you people who go and see a medium like you, I do give messages as well, but you focus more on it. And me, I like to share knowledge. You go and go see a medium, and the medium, like Priscilla, tells you about your grandmother, or the neighbors or whatever who passed over, or your cat or your dog, because all the memories of this grandmother will be in her energy body and her spirit, and she will remember. She's learned to tune into to Priscilla and to the medium and say, "Oh yes, tell my daughter, my granddaughter, certainly." So all the memories in there. So this is why we are a being of energy, flies off at night, and we then have adventures there. And I got them to just say a little thing important to know. When we go to bed here on Earth, when we go to bed and you fall asleep or try to go to sleep, and suddenly, so often we go, oh, have a little jerk. Everybody, and you have this jerk. I say, oh, what's happening to me? It's a good reason for that. It's because your being of energy has been working very hard during the day, and like your mobile phone or your cell phone, it needs to be recharged. So at night, the body is very tired because of the physical day, but the real you, full of energy, needs to recharge itself. So it flies off. Now it doesn't snap out of the flesh. It stays there because it's got to keep the flesh going, the heart beating, and all that sort of thing. So it keeps the body alive. It flies off. That's what we do. We call astral travel, an out-of-body experience. And it flies off to a certain frequency where it can recharge itself to the universal charger, like the mobile gets charged. And that level is what I would call reception level of the spirit world, the reception level of the other side. And our loved ones who already departed are told, oh, she's coming, he's coming, they're arriving. So the real you is there, and you meet your granddad, your father, your mother, your dog, your cat, whatever, all people you are linked with through affection and admiration and love, of course. And you meet. And then you have a good time together, you catch up, and then they say, oh, well, you'll have to go back. The alarm clock is going to ring. You need to go back to your body. So you might just go boom, back into your body and wake up with a shock or go back gently. Now, the last bit about this. We do that practically every night or every time we go to sleep. And you might have a dream. When you think it's a dream, you say, oh, I was with my granddad, I was with my daughter, I was with my whatever done. And friends would say, oh, it's your imagination. No, it isn't. You have met your loved one. You have met them. Don't let the people con you, especially if this departed loved one, of course, we're talking about. Though I think it can be done even on Earth, but let's just take the departed one. If they're smiling, they're looking healthy. They lost a leg on Earth, and now they will feel they've got their legs back and so on. Then you have definitely met them again. It does them good, because after all, remember, departed people are parted from their loved ones on Earth, those they've left on Earth. So they are sad as well, but they are taught not to grieve because it doesn't help them. Because in the spirit world, whatever you think, the thought has got a lot of energy, thoughts have got a lot of energy, and whatever you think becomes real. So if you're all sad and depressed in spirit, then you surround yourself with grayness, depression. And so they are very pleased to see us. It comfort them. They know that we're going to see us again eventually when we leave there. And we, temporarily anyway, during our sleep time, are reassured, oh yes, on Earth I'm sad, I've lost my dear loved one, but they still exist. So it's all comfort. So next time you jump in bed, it's because your mind says, oh, what's going on here? The body says, what's going on? And the real you is going back home a little bit to recharge yourself to the universal energy. So that's a good thing to know.
Very much so, because we found that there's so much happening in this world at the moment that we do spiritually, or our soul energy, our spirit energy needs to be recharged in a much more intense way than ever before.
Yeah.
Because of all the changes happening and the world just turning upside down, I think that we've having to really focus on that a lot more than we've ever had to do before, like taking
Mm.
care of our spirit and our soul.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, as you mentioned that, I mentioned that, how our mind, our thoughts, they are living things, really. They're sheer energy, and they are creative energy. This is what we need to understand, creative energy. So it can be used for the bad, it can be used for the good. Well, when you have all this horrible nastiness going on in the world, it's because too many greedy, nasty, what, people are sending negative energy, nastiness, hatred, and that's real. It becomes that dark fog, turn into, you can see situations and wars and things. But you can use this energy, as you know, to do the opposite and try to put some light in. And everybody think, oh, I'm only little me, I'm not going to do much. And my thing is always, in a dark cave, if you bring a little tea light, a small little candle, you're already breaking the light. Sorry, you're breaking the darkness, and you're bringing some light. Okay, so
Exactly.
we can all send some light, some love. Call it what you like. Call it healing. Call it what it is. Positive, caring, compassionate. Because we are being of compassion. Anybody who's born on earth, and my teachers have been explaining that. I said, anybody born on earth is not born to become a murderer, or any kind of nasty things like that. They just become that because they let themselves be tempted by greed, money, lust, all these horrible things, which make them misbehave. So we can help the world. And if all of us, or if in 3/4 of the population of the world, and there's 7 billion, whatever, can send this positive energy, caring, even for a few minutes. We'll start with one area. We'll start with yourself first, and your family, if you've got any feuds or things like that. But try to send this beautiful light, because you are a being of light. You are a being of light. So you can expand it with your mind. Just your aura. You've heard of the aura.
Yes.
And you have. I'm just talking to the public. You heard the aura. It can be manipulated, moved with your thoughts. Tell yourself you send your aura forward, and it has been proved it works. With instruments, they have measured this energy, as you know. So you can send it to your country, and certainly when there's some horrible wars or accident or incidents or anything, or earthquakes, you can help, because every drop of water helps. If you have a few drops of white paint into a black bucket, you are putting some white into the black. All right. So if we could all do that to try to dissolve the nastiness in the world, we'll do a good job. And my teachers, they dictate a little, especially, I'll just show briefly. If you look on my website, you'll see 2 little books, very small things, with all these tips explaining why we are on Earth. And they called it the golden keys to freedom and hope, and your secret powers. And basically, it boils down to that. They give you tips how to use your mind to protect yourself, put a big bubble of protection, and also to send it to heal, or send it to make things happen in your life. Interview tomorrow for work, for job. The day before, calm yourself down and send this light in a positive way towards the interviewer or whatever else you're going to do, and say, it will be okay. They'll give me the job. If it's right for me, they give me the job. Create a lit up path for your life. And if you do that all the time in your life, if you have this, like a big torch of positive light in front of you, with a big bubble of positive, caring, but being that you are, of protection, a bubble of protection, then you walk through life, and that way you push away, and you are not touched by negative intrusion, by negative thoughts, nasty people. It's important, isn't it, Priscilla?
Very much so. You know, and I always look at how, you know, I mean, I do healing myself, and I'm a Reiki master, and I teach it, and I teach all about energy and the chakras. And you were talking about the aura and the auric field, and it's so important to realize that, you know, if you in a dark, depressive, angry phase, the aura is very close, very tight, and very compact. And
Yeah,
the more open you are, the wider it is. And
exactly.
I've tested it with people, you know, that have come past me, and I've said to them, come on, let me test your aura and see, you know, and this one person, the aura was like almost like this much away from their body, which is like not good. And I said to them, can I just do something that's going to change your aura? And I showed this person by using my pendulum how close the aura was to them. And all I did was give them a hug. I just hugged them and held them. And I told them, you're beautiful, you're amazing. And that's all I did. And then
You reach.
I stepped back and I retested it. And it was like that,
Well done. Yeah.
just in one hug. And for me, it kind of like shocked them as well, that they could see the pendulum not moving and then the pendulum moving after one hug.
Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. Well, congratulations. A smile, even just a smile sometimes. A smile can brighten, you know, somebody sitting in a bus or whatever, you know, in the queue, and they will doom, and then you don't know them, but your eyes could, you know, meet, and you just smile, and
It takes
sometimes
nothing
they
to
light
smile.
up. Yeah, they light up. Yeah, it's very, very important. Yeah,
Yeah,
um, absolutely. So I got to agree with what you said. Yes, it's marvelous. And what you've done with the hug is you're recharging the battery.
very much
You know,
so.
like
Yes.
your battery is strong and full of energy, and theirs is flat. Push, that's it. You boost it up, done your job.
I do that
And
quite often now. I mean, I work from home and I'm online 90% of the time. And so when I do go out, I I keep on getting drawn to people. And I don't know whether it's my energy or my gifts and abilities honing in and being more intense, but I really find people that are in need of something from me, whether it's a message or a smile or a hug or whatever it is. And I find that it's just incredible the messages that come through in those moments when you're
yeah,
having these
well,
interactions with people.
you're very gifted. You're very gifted. That's why, and you're doing a wonderful job. You know, this is why you raise a point in a way there. It's really we need to learn. Everybody who's watching this, you need to learn or to practice to trust your sixth sense, your gut feeling. Now, of
Exactly.
course, sometimes it's a little bit, be careful. It's not, you mustn't think it's your my sixth sense and to do this. It could be your own mind thinking, you know, sometimes, you know, people will say, oh, well, how do I know it's not my mind? But when it's a gut feeling, you know it, don't you? It feels right. To me, when it's my gut feeling, it feels like a blue sky, blue summer sky. Whereas when something is not right and I shouldn't be doing it, or, you know, I should not accept it in an offer, say, then it feels like a foggy day. This is my little symbolism. It to be
Yeah.
everything different for everybody. As you said, you feel drawn to somebody, to feel drawn to say something. The same thing when I give talks to the public about all this. I answer people's questions, and when I go to Mind, Body, Spirits Festival, and have a talk time, and you know, it's just it feels right to say such a thing to a person who asks a question. So we've all got that. We've all got that. And if we could develop this, you know, this trusting what we feel, then you have little there again in this you know, this little books that give you I'm just showing it because it's so handy to give little tips for example to develop this sensing ahead, which can become then remote viewing. It helps you sense what's right for the future. And my teachers say, why do people go to see a medium to know the future? The medium doesn't know your future. You don't know it yourself. But if you can expand your energy field, your aura ahead of you with a question, okay, what's the first step I should take for for this, you know, to obtain this result? What's the first step I should take? You've got to learn to practice it and then learn to sense it. One little tip they gave, they say, when you go for a walk, this is an exercise. When you go for a walk, for example, or even driving, but especially somewhere you haven't been. So you walk down there and play a little game with yourself. relax yourself, be aware that you got your aura. You send your aura ahead of you, already, and you're going to come to a bend. Tell yourself, I'm going to now sense what I might notice on the bend. So it could be a dog with a ribbon, or it could be a tin on the tree or something. It doesn't. It could be something very mundane, but you don't know what's around the corner on that path. And just do that. It may not work straight away, but you do that often, and suddenly one day you say, "Oh, this thing come to my mind." Oh, how does the information come? It could be a vision, a picture in your mind, as clairvoyance. It could be a word to your head, which you could say clairaudient, but you could also be clairnoise. Suddenly, oh, the word tin came to my mind, baked beans, or similar things like that. And then, or you might see a word, tin or baked beans. And then when you walk and reach a spot, you say, "Oh, yes, the baked beans is there, or the dog is there,"
Exactly.
And then you learn to recognize the feeling. Now you practice that more and more, and then when you have, like you said, when you have inkling, "Oh, I should be doing this, I should accept this, I should not accept this, I should go and hug this person," then you're on the right path, and you've cracked it, your secret power, and you can do it. It's a secret power. Governments are trying to squash you and all that other thing, but there's something they cannot take out of you because it's inside you. And when you've practiced that, you know when they're lying, or anybody, they know when you're lying. You know when they're lying. You know it's not right for you. Oh, when you know it's okay. Right? We are wonderful beings, aren't we? Beings of energy, creative energy, feeling, sensing. We are great beings if we use it right.
Very much so, and it's so important for us to be able to, especially now when the whole world is changing and evolving, and we're stepping into what is considered the fifth dimension, and people always have a very misinterpretation of what it actually is. We're actually, needing to better understand it, and what we as human beings and as energy beings can do to better live within this new way of being, because we can never go back to the past, because we can't unknow what we know now. We can't not understand what we've had from the past, and so, like, what do we take with us now going forward to keep us enlightened?
Exactly. I mean, the amazing thing is that there's only, as like teachers and some communicators always repeat, there's only one rule. You've got free will. Some people say, "Oh, I'm meant to do this. I must be doing that. Or the Lord wants me to do that, whatever." No, you have chosen to be on earth. This is how they teach it, and I believe it strongly now. We chose to come to this earth experiment, which is a world of physicality, where things are, as you know. And we have these five senses, which is something different, because we, touching, feeling, tasting, all these, the five senses of the body. And these are great things to have. It's also, they can be a downfall if we let them rule us, right? But so the rule or the law of the universe is enjoy being a human being, enjoy being a being of energy dressed as a human who can eat and do all the things we do with our body, and enjoy it and see things and all that. But do not harm any other traveler, any other humans or animals, because they are on the earth as well to experiment with being in the physical world. Do not harm any others, for one good reason, because if you harm somebody else, well, they might kick back. They don't want you to kick them or step on their area, and you're going to be hurt. So in a way, it's selfish, if you like, because if you don't kick them, then you protect yourself. But also, a compassionate person as you should not want to hurt other people. And as the teachers say, and if you see somebody in need of help, well, try and help. Because after all, if you one day need help, you'll be blooming glad if somebody comes to help you. So when you talk about fifth dimension and all that, it's really going back to what what should have been, and we, as humans, we destroyed everything. Living according to that law. Enjoy. Use your energy, your compassion, your caring. Discover. Be inquiring all the time, because the moment you want to find out something, the moment you wonder, "Oh, what if? What can I do with my thought?" How can I improve things? It will happen. You open doors. Live in a compassionate way. You'll be safe. Nobody's going to hurt you because they are doing the same thing. This is a good fifth dimension. This is what ascending back to what you are, being of energy and caring, and not letting this five senses drag you down because of greed and lust and all this negative side of it. So,
There's a lot of it at the moment in the world, all this greed and power and anger and hatred and stuff like that. And so, as spiritual beings, how do you feel we should approach this?
Sorry, was your
How
question?
do you feel we should approach this? Because there's so much anger and greed and fear and anxiety and power grabbing and things like that. And as spiritual beings, we find it very difficult because it kind of feels as if you feel as if you're getting beaten down by those energies.
Yeah. Well, excuse me, but a sip of wonderful water, which my teachers all say, for goodness sake, don't pollute the waters in your world. How do you deal with it? Well, it boils down to what you mentioned earlier. This is how my teachers, said it to me. He said, protect yourself. Be aware of your own energy. Be aware, understand, and believe it. Don't just say, oh, well, Brigitte says that or Priscilla says that. No, you are a being of creative energy, creative thinking energy. That's what the source is, intelligent, creative thinking energy. We could go into this. Anybody who would want to know about that, how the world was created and what God is or as a force and so on, we could discuss that because they've channeled a lot of books about this, but we'll see. We can't cram all that tonight. So you are a being of energy. Enjoy knowing that you are safe. Know that you've got a body just as a tool, right? Use your mind to protect yourself first. First of all, every morning, little tip is just, visualize, scan your body in your mind as you lie down there. Just tell yourself, I am healing, rebalancing my flesh body. You're talking to the body, which is a tool. You are in charge by being a mind, a thinking energy. Mind is not brain, all right? So if I say mind, I mean thinking energy, which is the whole of you. Tell your body it's going to be all right. If there's any pain, it'll be okay, we're focused on that thing. Come on. That pain is a reflection of some kind of problem, attitude, or something I have. Let's just solve it or rebalance it. I've studied a lot of complementary medicines therapies. Like you, I do healing and also I did therapies. And the back is known to be, when you suffer from back problem, it's often because it's where you carry the bag of coal. Is you carrying other people's problem. Just that thing. If you've got problems with your back, what have you been doing over the past years? Or are you shouldering somebody else's problems? Yes. And so on. Emotions in the chest, in here, the breast, and so on. Or the emotions. This is why people get cancer of breast or whatever. Because of emotion. It could be going back to childhood. Its emotion may be suppressed. So all these things. So you're in bed. You're not got up yet. You've woken up. You send that light over yourself, and you believe that you are okay. You've rebalanced yourself. Then you expand it around yourself, and a big bubble of protective light energy, which cannot be destroyed and will not be attacked. No, it's just any kind of negative things will bounce off it. So you're safe. And then you can get up and believe positively. My day will be okay. I've got this to tackle, or that to tackle. It will be all right because I'm beaming my light ahead of me. It will be okay. Right? To start that way. So this is for your everyday life. And then, when you've got minutes to think of the world, even 5-10 minutes, if we could all do that, is send this and tell your friends. In fact, my teachers say, please try to have it to groups of people now and then, whether you do it on Zoom, whether you do it physically, a group of people sending this positive, caring, peaceful, could make it a blue light or gold light, whatever you want to imagine. It doesn't matter as long as the intention and the intensity of your intention is good. So you want to send healing and rebalancing to these governments, to this dictator, to this. It's a lot of work. We could be at it for 24 hours a day, trying to rectify the world. But this is what they say. This is what they say. And I just say quickly, once as I said to my teachers, I said, yeah, but what about if this dictator, let's say, knows about all that, and he's using his mind as well, in the wrong way, of course. He's greed. I'm going to be the master of the world, and I'm going to have all the money and all that sort of thing. They said to me, yes, but that's dark energy. It's negative. It's not compassionate. It's against the law of the universe. Do not harm others. And light always win. Light always win over darkness. There's no but. Remember the cave with the candle in.
Exactly. Yes.
Said you send pictures. So if say a particular dictator, let's say, send your light over him, and he might be spikes out like a hedgehog. Hedgehogs are nice, but I mean, his anger and hatred and all that is out. Just visualize. And I've got to say to you, I've done that for somebody on earth, not the dictator, and it worked. Tell yourself, come on, talk to him. Say, come on, that's enough. And imagine you're just smoothing all these spikes down. They just break them down, turn them into a soft fur, like a cat's fur, or something like that soft. And you dumb it. You just crush it down. Finished. You can't send this out. You just will it. I've done that to somebody who was stalking me. I was just, trying to police everything. It's just pain. I couldn't get through. I knew he had psychological problem with this guy. I did not like being rejected, but I was getting scared, and I couldn't get rid of him, and I was scared. I was looking, and at one time, naughty me, I thought, okay, I'll put a bomb into his car. How do I make this bomb? I got told off, and I just didn't not know what to do. Okay. So I was looking, how do you make a bomb? Anyway, they said to me, come on, that's not the way to do it. And they said, use your mind. So I did that. I just visualized him in the same town as me, and I visualized him. I knew he had those all upset. Okay, I can see you are. Smooth yourself, balance yourself. I was balancing him, whatever. And I said, right, go and live in your corner of the town, and I live in my corner, and we should leave it so that. And it stopped, just like that.
Yes.
So I did not have to make a bomb.
And people don't realize how powerful we actually are when we put our minds to doing things and to changing the trajectory of our lives, and by using that positive light and energy. I've done that myself over the years, and it's amazing. I remember being on a bus in London, and there was these two people arguing, and I was sitting at the back of the bus, and I just visualized this ball of beautiful pink light of love, and I just visualized myself throwing it at them as if it's like gonna, like when you throw a water balloon and it splats on the person, and I just visualized this pink water ball, and I threw it at them, and I could feel it like, tingling over them like that, and suddenly both their bodies jerked, and suddenly they turned around and were just talking to each other, and sorry, are you okay? And they got off the bus together, and they were fine. And I thought, wow, I helped to just defuse that. So it is amazing when we realize actually the powers we do actually have in this world.
Oh yes, it's incredible. So that's what we need to remind people that it's very, very, very important all the time. But we don't use it enough. And also how you must remember, when we are negative, when we are feeling sorry for ourselves, or when we're angry, we are damaging our own body, because we are turning it against ourselves. Yeah. So it's important.
Very much so. Very much so. Well, so in wrapping up, maybe some little advice that you could give people going forward in the next couple of months, some little, tidbits or advice that you could offer people.
Well, we just said, practice that. And, there's little tips and a few others I've got in my books, my channel book. Practice that. Remember, take some time off, a few minutes, whether you're sitting in an armchair or somewhere, just take a few minutes off, set television off, to take a few deep breaths. No need to spend fortune to try to relax. All you have to do is just close your eyes gently and focus on your nose. This is what my teachers, I think the Buddhists do this kind of thing. It's very simple. Focus on your nose, just because it keeps your mind busy, focusing, oh yes, air is going up my nose. Yeah, we haven't been thinking of our nose while we've been talking for the past hour.
Exactly.
So It keeps the mind busy on something which is not important. You realize
Yes.
the air, as the air goes in, visualize it going inside you. Just tell yourself it's imagination, but it's symbolic and it works. Symbolic. Right, goes in, rebalance inside you. Yeah, nothing. And then you'll feel calmer. And then you can then look up gently your forehead, like behind your, over over your forehead. You can close your eyes, look at that screen there. Like in the olden days when you had to wait for television to warm up, just tell yourself you're looking at that screen, calmly expecting something, because it keeps your mind busy looking at this, screen. And you might see some lights, you might see some colors, you might see some, all kinds of zigzag, whatever. There's energy, that's very good. Or you might just see grayness. Focus on that. Or imagine yourself, tell yourself it's like a sky at night, you just float into it because it's a focus of calmness. And that will help calm you down, okay, if you have to do things. And then, of course, as we said before, send your aura around you as a big bubble of protection. Send it over your loved ones. Protect your loved ones. Protect your car and your house as well, or their house, because we need to have a home and we need to have, transport and all that, unfortunately. So use your mind power. Do what you've done, Priscilla. Send it to people, even
Exactly.
strangers. You're creating, peace.
And it costs nothing to do it. It doesn't cost you anything. It actually empowers you more by sending that out, because it empowers you more.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then try to, something that's very important. If you can go into nature, even if it's only just a bush on the road or something, it depends. If you're lucky to be near nature of any kind, go out into nature, in a little walk, or go with some trees and some bushes or whatever you can be. Because the fresh air is not just, it's air, hydrogen, whatever. It's important. I can tell you more another time. It's a very important thing, which we need. And we need to also, this is a bracket, we need to fight for, with fighting pollution, with all these people having fossil fuel and all that sort of thing. There's only a very thin layer of air around, atmosphere around our Earth. I think it's 12 miles or something, I forget. It's only very thin layer. And after that, it's deep space, and there's no more air. Now, this air has been created for us, and we are polluting it by burning, well, not all of us, but the nasty, greedy ones, polluted by burning the forests, which are oxygen providers,
Exactly.
creating all this pollution. And if we don't fight and back up people who fight for the, a cleaner earth, back them up. Don't just say, oh, yes, isn't it bad? Armchair politics, good. You sign petitions, join groups, Greenpeace and all these kind of friends of the earth and all that. Fight for the earth, because we are on it and we are destroying, the bad ones are destroying it. So there's a lot of things we can do with our mind and protect the earth. When you sit quietly, switch television off. They don't want the soaps, they are negative. This kind of soap thing on television, my view, they're very negative. They're all killing each other and nasty to each other. Instead, spend a few minutes visualizing the earth as if you're in space and protecting it, wrapping it all up. And don't forget, as we go into the deeper things and the more physical, scientific side of it, the earth is covered with ley lines, with grid, very, very important energy line across, which keep it together. This is very important. So some of you are interested in finding out more about the spiritual science or the spiritual side of, or excuse me again, the scientific side of spiritual, getting mixed up, spirituality, is that we are energy, the earth is energy, all these grids exist, and they are being very imbalanced. And this is why we're getting all these earthquakes and volcanoes. And how many volcanoes are going at the moment? They're all blowing up because the earth is all shaken, because the earth is a entity. It's a living being. It's not an object.
Because the humans are rattling the earth.
Exactly. And so if you don't want volcanoes and earthquakes and floods and so on, you've got to send your power and tell your friends. And please tell the children, tell your young children, make them understand about afterlife, make them understand. It's very important, because before long they're going to be adult and they are brought up the right way. Make them understand they can use their mind to feel better. When they say, I've got a headache, don't want to go to school, help them, help them do that, rebalance themselves. they're worried about bullies at school, help them to create a bubble of themselves and say, you will not, just ignore that bully and just believe that you are okay, and so on. And tell them that when the pet dies or if a grandmother dies, they say, oh, she's carry on. She's a being of energy. She's just flown off because the body was a bit too old. It's like an old car, you get rid of it. But the real person is there. The grandma, whoever, or your loved dog and cat loved you, and the love is a big light. It doesn't disappear. It survives. So
Exactly.
teach the kids. And then if young kids are aware of spirit, please do not mock them. If they say, oh, I saw grandma or Auntie John or that dog in the bedroom. Don't laugh at them, because they'll climb up. They're future mediums.
Yes,
Young kids.
exactly.
Little kids were they were adult grown-up spirits before they were born. And then they become baby, but they're growing up again. So teach them this. It's okay to know that they can see spirit. Remove the fear. Remove the fear. So if you, like you did with these people in the bus there, there's fear all over the world. Visualize this as you want. It was a nasty waves or fires or whatever. Wash it off. Use a huge hose and use your lovely, loving, caring energy over and just hose down the wave. Use your mind as you've done, Priscilla. Use your mind to bring peace.
Exactly. That's what the most important thing is. So how can people get hold of you? What is your website that people can get hold of you on?
My website, yes, is www.Brigitte Rix, BRIGITTERIX, Brigitte Rix, @gmail.com. No, that's not right. No, sorry, that's not that. Sorry, that's my website. Sorry, that's my address. Sorry. Oh, I don't. Sorry, I forgot that. www.italkwithspirits. italkwithspirits.com. Yes.
The link will be in the description below. And there is a way, once you're on the website, all her books are there, and a way to get hold of her or any kind of connection that you'd like to have with her. And she's got she's on her 9th book, which is just about to finish and launch. So I wish her every success. She's a phenomenal author and a phenomenal channel.
I don't write channeling author, it's automatic writing.
Channeling author.
I receive it like this: big scribbles of non-stop writing, automatic pen. My pen writes automatically. Pages after that. Okay. This is dictated by spirit, and I hear it.
Yes.
Yeah. This is important because it's not my mind; it's their teacher. Yeah. And for those of you who want to know whether there's other world, other beings, other worlds, and other beings across, and ET and all that, my teachers are touching, talking about that as well. So
because you touch on a lot of different subjects within this realm.
This is what's like. Yeah. Just show me an example. Yeah. I'm not dead. I'm not alive. They said, what's like on the other side? What do we do when we pass through another world beyond the spirit world? Plenty to discover.
Plenty to start. And once you start going down the rabbit hole of Brigitte's work and channel energy, you'll become very hooked. So I want to say thank you very much, Brigitte, for joining me today on Psychic Talk. All her details and the way to get a hold of her and her books, especially her books, will be on the link in the description below. So please feel free to join me again, same time, same place next week, as we delve deeper into the spiritual realm and see what comes out. So thank you very much for joining me, Brigitte.
Thank you very much for asking me and for giving me a chance to talk to people. I do love having interviews because I want to spread the word and want to help enlighten and reassure people to remove fear.
So thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye. Thank you.